I'm going to attempt to cross the entire Eastern Kingdoms on foot with a level 1 character. Can a level 1 character really survive the jungles, monsters, and dangers of the Eastern Kingdoms using nothing but their own 2 feet? Let's find out. For this challenge, I created a brand new level 1 character and started running immediately. No gear, no gold, nothing at all, because none of it was allowed. Here's the plan. I start in Elwynn Forest, then head south through Westfall, Duskwood, and Stranglethorn Vale, pushing through each zone in order. From there, I cross into Horde territory and make my way all the way to the northernmost point, Eversong Woods. After that, I travel back down to Ironforge, take the Deep Run tram, and finish the journey in Stormwind. I literally just started running, and like always, Elwynn Forest feels really peaceful. It kind of has everything you want for a level 1 beginner. And sorry to the Horde players, I feel like this is part of why Alliance always ends up with more characters. You just start the game in a place that's green, bright, and nice to look at. I passed through Goldshire, the first town, and decided to stop by Stormwind real quick, because this is where the journey will eventually end. The real question is, will I actually make it back here alive? After a while, I finally made it to Westfall. People don't really level through this route anymore, so it's been a long time since I was last here. And since I was already here, I decided to make a quick stop by the Westfall coast. Most players these days probably don't know this, but back in the day, people actually used to gather here to watch the New Year's sunrise together. I suddenly ran into a gnoll sprinting straight at me like a maniac. I always thought roaming mobs just kind of walked around slowly, but this one ran at me like it had a full aggro. In Duskwood, I got attacked by a bear for the first time. It had a skull icon, so it was at least level 12 or higher. I usually think sticking to the road keeps you safe from mobs, but I guess I need to be more careful from now on. Stranglethorn Vale is probably one of the zones where I died the most back when I played WoW Original. It's a jungle after all. I didn't even make it that far before a tiger jumped me from somewhere I didn't expect. I almost died there. There are more raptors just hanging out right in the middle of the road. Leaving the road is risky, but I don't really have a choice here. I am gonna need to take a small detour. This is bad. I thought the road would keep going all the way to Booty Bay, but it's a dead end. I'm looking around to see if there's another way around. And of course, a panther just showed up out of stealth. That's really bad. I wasn't even watching for stealth mobs. I'm heading to the nearest base. I looked around for another route, but this was the only way. And the biggest problem is that the road is gone. Without a road, there's no way I can cross this jungle. I'm going to hug the cliff and try to move while avoiding as many mobs as possible. That's a relief. I found the road. I finally made it to Booty Bay. Back in WoW Classic, this place was pure chaos. Pirates everywhere, people fighting all the time. Now though, it's just a quiet, peaceful harbor. I don't mind the calm, but I kind of miss the old noisy Booty Bay. I'm heading back north to Duskwood and crossing through Deadwind Pass. From there, the plan is to go through the Swamp of Sorrows and keep pushing all the way to the Blasted Lands. I'm shocked. Do you see that? Those bodies. They are actually swaying slightly in the wind. I never noticed that before. Maybe that's how I would end up in this journey. The grunt I ran into in the Swamp of Sorrows looked at least 20 levels higher than a normal mob. I'd probably die in one shot, so I'm going to be extra careful here. I also randomly ran into another player in the Swamp of Sorrows, which felt really nice. I didn't expect to see anyone leveling in this zone anymore.
It's been fun.
From the Blasted Lands on, the road gets a lot more dangerous. There are way more aggressive mobs standing right along the path, so I really had to be careful. If I want to stay alive, I had to choose my route slowly and deliberately. My goal was the Dark Portal at the very southern edge of the zone, so I kept moving forward while watching the roaming mobs and their patrol path. And I made it. I reached the Dark Portal safely. I was kind of curious if a level 3 character could go through it, but nope, not allowed. That means I've now covered both the southwest and the southeast edges of the Eastern Kingdoms. Time to head north. I'm back in the Swamp of Sorrows. The goal here is to reach Balkpetal and cross over into the safer Redridge Mountains. The problem is, there are way too many aggressive mobs lining the road. I managed to slip past the first few without any trouble, and that was the worst part. It gave me confidence I didn't really need. I seriously thought this was where the challenge was going to end. After almost dying there, I decided to be a lot more humble about the way I chose my path. The swamp didn't look safe either, but it felt better than that road. And thanks to that, I made it to Bog Pedal safely, and I was finally able to cross over to Redridge Mountains. After passing through the peaceful Redridge Mountains, I ran into a problem the moment I entered the Burning Steppes. The route I came in from just stopped halfway. My destination was Black Rock Mountain, and crossing this zone without a road would basically be suicide. I stopped for a moment, trying to figure out what to do, and then I noticed players right in front of me. I didn't really have any other options, so I decided to talk to them. To be honest, I've been playing WoW for a long time, but it's been ages since I actually talked to someone out in the open world like this, not in a battleground or anything. It kind of reminded me of when I first started playing WoW, which made it feel even nicer. After I explained my situation, they immediately said they'd help guide me through the area. They helped me just until I reached the road again, and then I continued on alone. It was only a short time together with a party I met by chance, but it brought back memories of old WoW, back when people helped each other for no real reason, just because. My plan in Searing Gorge is stick to the road as much as possible, head east, and make my way out into the Badlands. The problem is, there are just way too many high-level mobs on the road. No matter where I look, I don't really see a clear way out, or a safe detour. Maybe because this used to be a high-level zone, the mobs are packed really tightly. So I'm going to move forward as carefully as I possibly can. The real problem was this bridge. There were two mobs standing back to back on the road, and if I went that way, I was pretty sure I'd die, like 100%. So I looked for a detour. On the right, there were mobs. On the left, there was this small hill, and I wasn't even sure if it was climbable. When I got closer to the edge, all my years of playing WoW kicked in, and I had this strong feeling that this hill is not passable. If I went any further, I'll probably just fall. So I turned back and looked for another route. But there wasn't one, which meant this hill was my only option. So I decided to try it. Sometimes you just need a leap of faith. And I shouldn't have leaped. Now I'm completely stuck. I'm going to try running toward the only possible escape. And maybe, just like last time, I can shake them off before I die. Yeah, I really shouldn't have done that, and that's where my journey ended. Even as a ghost, I looked around to see if there was any other options I have missed, but there was none. Still, it felt really nice playing WoW like the old days again, even for a moment. If you think you could start at level 1 and make it across the Eastern Kingdoms, let me know in the comments. But crossing the Searing Gorge on foot with level 1 character just doesn't seem possible.